So after what is now being referred to as a 1 in 1,000 year flood that has affected really popular parts of Sarasota, you're probably thinking to yourself, what areas are better than others when it comes to buying in Sarasota? Where should I buy if I don't want to worry about my house getting flooded? Now, this area has proven time and time again to have done everything right, as they experience virtually zero flooding, while a lot of other popular areas in Sarasota did. But before we get into that, I want to straighten out a few things and give you a few facts. Now, number one, although Sarasota saw something like 16 inches of rain in a 48-hour period, a vast majority of Sarasota didn't even see standing water. I mean, it was within hours that areas that did even see standing water were reduced back to nothing and completely dry. And areas, even with ponds and ditches, were back to regular levels within maybe the end of the day. Now, number two is, yes, technically all of Florida is in a flood zone. There are different designations though. The best that you can be in is an X flood zone, and that is what a majority of homes are in here in Sarasota, especially now that it seems like Sarasota County is approving every single new development that has ever been proposed. Now, with that being said, the area that we're going to be exploring today rarely has any issues in my experience with hurricanes, flooding, or anything of that nature. Now, what area is this? Well, it's Palmer Ranch. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, then you'll know that Palmer Ranch is one of my favorite areas to live in all of Sarasota. It's beautiful. It's got some amazing neighborhoods. It's in one of the best and most sought after school districts in all of Sarasota. And I would argue it's in one of the best locations in all of Sarasota, being close enough to everything, but yet far enough away that you can still enjoy some peace and tranquility inside of your own neighborhood. But now it seems like Palmer Ranch is adding one more accolade to its long list of benefits, and that is its resilience to storms and flooding. Now, why does Palmer Ranch always seem to fare so well when it comes to flooding and hurricane events? Well, there's a few reasons for that, and let's get into them. Firstly, Palmer Ranch is dedicated to maintaining green spaces. As you can see, although there's a ton of neighborhoods in this area, there's still plenty of greenery, retention ponds, and large lakes, which gives water somewhere to go, which is kind of the most important thing when it comes to flooding. And another thing that's so great about this is that Palmer Ranch's Master Association is dedicated to keeping these green areas green and protected. They've done an amazing job at not succumbing to developers' requests of building brand new neighborhoods and construction areas at every corner of every area here in Palmer Ranch. And because of this, homeowners here in Palmer Ranch can not only enjoy the beauty and the serenity of all of these green spaces and lakes throughout their neighborhoods, but they can also enjoy the peace of mind knowing that water has somewhere to go when it's coming from the sky. Now, another reason that Palmer Ranch seems to fare so well during these flooding events is because they aren't overdeveloped. Unlike areas like Lakewood Ranch, where it seems like new developments are popping up every other day, Palmer Ranch hasn't seen a new construction community since right around 2019. And because of this, again, homeowners don't have to worry about having a new construction community that is built maybe 3 or 4 feet above where their community already is and having potential runoff water being pushed into their neighborhood or towards their home. Oh, and the best part of this is that Palmer Ranch is actually completely built out, meaning there are no new communities being built in here. The area is totally developed, which is again an added peace of mind to these homeowners knowing that there's not going to be a brand new gigantic neighborhood that could affect their drainage systems or again push water into their neighborhood because there's no new neighborhoods being proposed because there's no space for them. You know, one of the big things in real estate is uncertainty, not knowing whether that preserve behind you is going to stay preserved or if it's going to be completely wiped out for a brand new construction neighborhood. The thing with Palmer Ranch is that you don't have that unknown. You don't have that uncertainty. You know that your home is going to stay your home and your community isn't going to change much in the future. Now, typically with flooding, there are two major causes of concern. And the first is being that newer construction neighborhoods are being built up against those older, lower lying neighborhoods, sending all of this runoff water into the older neighborhoods. Now, if you look on a map of Palmer Ranch, you can see that they began constructing neighborhoods on the far west border of the community, and neighborhoods continued to be built out east until they hit I-75, meaning that the newer construction neighborhoods are all along I-75, and that the further west you go, the older the communities get, meaning that there isn't any neighborhoods 20 to 30 years old being built right next to brand new ones. And the second thing that's important when it comes to flooding is leaving somewhere for water to go. And like I've kind of mentioned this whole video, that's something that Palmer Ranch is really good at. Now, I am no hydrologist, but I do have a drone, and this is what it looks like 200 to 300 feet up in the sky. I mean, as you can tell, there's so much green space and so many lakes, so many ponds, so many areas for water to run off. I mean, it's just easy to see with the eye. It looks nothing like the area that flooded east of I-75. Now, if you want to learn more about Palmer Ranch and why so many people love this hidden gem of an area, watch these videos next. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.